So these are basically the essential tools or toys that are in the back of the van on most days. We'll start off with clearing up and cleaning up after the job before we get to the actual doing the jobs that are required generally as a professional gardener. One of the main tools I get to use a lot is the big backpack blower, which is the Stihl BR800. See, it's a brilliant machine. It's got a side pull start as well, so you don't have to keep taking it on and off. And to start it, so let me just show you that. So as you can see, the handle there pulls out that way rather than being on the back normally. It's one of the most powerful blowers that you get on the market, and it's a serious bit of kit, but it does a serious job. For other stuff that needs to be cleaned up or moved, we have the two power brooms attachments for the Husqvarna Combi system. This is a rubberized sort of paddle one, which is good for removing lighter stuff that might be a little bit ingrained, so moss off pathways or tennis courts. Can also be used for removing gravel or moving gravel around, sand, etc. Then you have the bristle version, which as you can see is like your normal yard brush, and that comes in for all sorts of good reasons. Again, great for removing moss or stones, sand, mud. When you've scarified or you've mowed a lawn, if you want to really give it a good clean, run over it once or twice with that, and there'll be nothing left in the lawn that you don't want there. The Combi tools themselves, these engines, these have various attachments, and you can see most of the attachments that are available for the Husqvarna version here, at least anyway. Still do their own version of it, but I'm not as keen on the noise that their 4MX engines make. The popping starts to get my nerves, so I prefer the Husqvarna units. This is the big one. This is the 535 LK, and it's an absolute beast. It will power everything that you can see here at seriously high revs, and it's also quite precise as well, so you can run it at lower revs. It's extendable for long reach with one of the extension bars. The manufacturer's warranty from Husqvarna states that if you use more than one extension bar, you're invalidating your warranty. So if you're trying to reach really long distances, putting more than one bar on, and if the machine breaks, you are not covered. So just be aware of that. So let's see, what can you attach to that unit? Here's the power edger, so putting in your lawn edges nice and neat. Got the two different hedge cutter systems there, so you've got the longer reach one and a short reach. There's the pole saw pruner there for doing taking off small limbs or branches of trees and stuff, or if you need to chopping up a little bit of wood and you haven't got a chainsaw. This one is the cultivator unit, so you use that to cultivate soil, similarly rotivator basically. So for your beds, your borders, maybe raised beds or little vegetable plots, that comes in really helpful. If you need to go up a scale and turn the strimmer into more of a mulching system, you can put a blade on. I would recommend not doing this with a split shaft power unit though, or a split shaft strimmer. You pick up more vibration doing so with the metal blade on. You're better using a fixed bar, so one that won't split, just to reduce that vibration a little bit. And we move over to the 135 Mark II chainsaw. I don't do tree surgery, but sometimes you have to chop or clear your way through stuff, so the chainsaw is essential. Always be very, very careful when using a chainsaw because they do not mess about. Make sure you wear the correct PPE, as you should do with all of this stuff. And if you're looking at doing this professionally, you should invest in your PPE first before your tools and your toys. You've got to make sure you're safe. Moving on up, we've got the 75 and the 60 centimetre hedge cutters. This is a professional model, and this is more of a domestic one, but sometimes you want a little shorter blade rather than the bigger one. And then we come to the big strimmer, or the backpack brush cutter from Stihl. This is electronic start, so literally, rather than pulling the cord, there is a cord in case the battery runs out. You essentially flick the safety cover up and push the button, and that will start up for you. The Hedge unit isn't interchangeable, and again you can put a brush cutter blade on there, or a grass blade, or even a circular saw type blade for going through little saplings and stuff. I tend to run the Oregon aluminium head, which is really good. As you can see, I don't do 2-strand trimming. It's a lot easier and a lot less faffing around with that many that many lines on. The wearability and the damage it does, or the destruction it causes, is a lot more effective, and you change out the line a lot less. So basically, yeah, that's a quick tour of some of the toys. There are a lot of other toys in the storage unit that are mainly the bigger machines that don't come out at certain times of the year. So the lawnmower, the rotavator, the pressure washer for the ultra high pressure washing, and the wheel away for doing block paving, driveways, patio, decking, and tennis courts, etc. We have a mist blower which can be used to feed or to fertilise, and also use herbicides or pesticides with, and it basically pumps out a mist which has got a pre-mixture of the herbicide or pesticide or fertiliser feed, wherever it's you're using. Obviously lawnmowers is one of those things that you can't get away with not having as a gardener, but also there is the chipper as well. We have a chipper which will go up to 80mm in diameter for branches, so again, when you're using the chainsaw to clear and pull stuff out, that comes in handy to tidy up, and you get a nice bag of mulch to use later on. Anyway, so that's the basics of the van, and I hope the people that have been asking me to have a quick look are satisfied. Any other questions, please drop us a line and I'll get back to you. Happy gardening, take care of yourself, and enjoy the spring weather that's just about to start, and stay safe please. Shadow of the Gardener, bespoke gardening services in Rutland.